Gerald Canoyer Jr.,
Yes.
Austin Watkins Sr.,
Yes.
Tyler Yellowboy,
Yes.
Wendell Youngman Jr., Ron DeBrey,
Oh.
James Cross,
Yes.
Ella Giancarlo,
Yes.
George Dreamer Jr., George Dreamer Jr., Jillian Spotted Bell,
Yes.
Richard Ironclad,
Yes.
David Puyer, Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Jackie Sears, Michael Carlos Sr.,
Yes.
Bernardo Rodriguez Jr., Garfield Still,
No.
Craig Dillon,
Council, that passes 17 yes, 1 no, 2 not voting. Thank you, Council. Councilman Carlo, then Councilwoman Spotted.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion, that Dave Kelly from the Roads Department come meet with the Land Committee and we formalize some type of right-of-way cutting that all parties here and after will be, have to abide by.
Okay, thank you. Motion, second by Councilman Hawkins. Any discussion? Hearing or seeing none, Secretary, will you call the vote, please?
Wesley Hawkins Sr.,
Oh.
Blaine Little Thunder,
Oh.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle Sr.,
Yes.
Gerald Canoyer Jr.,
Yes.
Austin Watkins Sr.,
Out.
Tyler Yellowboy,
Yes.
Wendell Youngman Jr., Ron DeBrey,
Out.
James Cross, Ella Giancarlo,
Yes.
George Dreamer Jr.,
Give Denise a ride to the transit?
Yeah.
We can give you a ride, Denise.
Richard Ironclad,
Yes.
David Puyer,
Yeah.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston,
Ha.
Jackie Sears, Michael Carlos Sr.,
Yes.
Bernardo Rodriguez Jr., Garfield Still,
No.
Craig Dillon,
Council, that passes 18 yes, 1 no, and 2 not voting. Thank you, Council. Councilwoman Whitehorse.
I would like to make a motion that we direct HHS committee to set up a task force to work with the Oglala Lakota nursing home for, to ensure that their board seats are filled, to review the policies and any other work that the nursing home needs to be in compliance with all laws.
Okay, second by Councilman Carlo. Any discussion? Councilman, go ahead.
And if the motion maker could maybe add in there that we bring those back to the HHS committee for, okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Additional questions? Hearing, seeing none. Secretary call the vote, please. Thank you.
Wesley Hawkins Senior,
Oh.
Little Thunder,
Oh.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle Senior,
Yes.
Gerald Sawyer Junior,
Yes.
Austin Watkins Senior,
Out.
Tyler Yellowboy,
Yes.
Wendell Youngman Junior,
Yes.
Rhonda Bray,
Out.
James Cross,
Yes.
Ella Giancarlo,
Yes.
George Dreamer Junior,
Yes.
Jillian Spotted Bear. Yes. Richard Ironcloud,
Yes.
David Poyer,
Yeah.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston,
Ha.
Jackie Sears,
Uh-huh.
Michael Carlos Senior, Bernardo Rodriguez Junior, Garfield Still,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Council, that passes 24, one out voting. Thank you, council. Are there other motions at this time? Okay, so seeing none, Perlman and Whitehorse, I know that we talked briefly about, the Wamboy item, so if it's okay, council, we can move that up since they're both here, everyone. And, I guess I'll turn it over to you, Chairwoman, is that from your committee?
Sorry. It was actually from council
Okay,
and then referred back because we needed more information and we I was in a meeting this weekend with Mario, who is their attorney working with them, and the I can't remember the name, Shane Mers, regarding the AA certification, and he did provide the information we had requested.
okay, okay. Is there a resolution that,
Jim Redwell is the chairman of Eagle Nest District. If
Okay.
he could come forward and
Okay.
present.
Chairman, yeah, feel free to find an open spot. I think if you want to sit next to Councilwoman Whitehorse, that's what's, go ahead.
I have a question, Chair. According to our agenda, I'm not trying to put you guys on the back burner or anything either, but according to our agenda, this complaint is something that we need to deal with first and foremost before we proceed.
Is that the, on item number 7? Is that the one?
I think it's under law.
Okay, yeah, no, we already took action on that, so. Okay, yeah. Chairman Redwall, Chairman, do you want to present the item and read the resolution?
typo secretary on Mr. Carlo here with his sharp eyes here. Got my spelling wrong here. Treasurer, supposed to be treasurer, no F on there. Treasurer. That's German actually, but okay. Good afternoon, council. I'm glad that you moved us up on the agenda. I appreciate that very much. Coming back tomorrow, I would have to borrow some money to get over here because, well, you guys are an executive committee. Mike wouldn't pay me back what he owed me, so I went into debt here. So this is a resolution to approve the 8A project here for Eagle Nest. And as I explained before one time there that this was idea was brought forth before I was district chairman at the previous district council. So we examined this, we looked it over, we had various attorneys, various experts in 8A. We didn't want to get into a situation as happened in the past where some districts went into agreements with various individuals that weren't vetted or didn't go through the process to check into their backgrounds. So we've done that. Mr. Gonzalez, who helped us and brought forth all the things that we needed. And this resolution was, I have the original signed one. We needed to amend that previous resolution. So this morning we had a Eagle Nest District Executive Committee meeting, and we passed this and a couple other things, and we recessed. So this is the secretary. This is the original signed copy of this resolution here. You're going to pass this down that way. So at this point here, I guess that's my explanation as far as the district chairman goes in bringing this forth. And I'll turn it over to, is Shane, are you on? Is Shane on? But I guess Cora, as she mentioned, there had a discussion with Mario and Mr. Mers over the weekend. So if there's any questions, I'll guess I can either try to answer them or let Mario.
Chairman, I what they're mostly requesting is the treasurer's reports for the year ending 2020 and the year ending 2021. And that is to be a part of their application for the AA certification. That's to justify, it doesn't put a liability and doesn't attach them to the tribe, but it does, it's for proof that they do qualify under the income guidelines, because basically their only income is the district allocations. And so that's what they're requesting, are the treasurer's reports for the year ending 2020 and the year ending 2021. The good thing about the AA certification, Native tribes and organizations, they have priority whenever the contracts are given. And if you have a good liaison or officer, then the more contracts you get. Winnebago actually has a AA certified company, and there is a timeline. I believe it's 8 years per company. 8 years per company. That means that you can be certified for 8 years, and then as a tribal organization or a tribe, you can create another company that you can get certified using the same documentation. And yeah, and it's basically you don't have to have a company in business for before. It used to be you had to have a certain amount of time, but that does not apply to tribes. So that was my main question the last time. Would it be a liability? No, they would not be creating a liability. How many years do we have to have in business for a service? And it doesn't apply to tribes. Now AA certification is mostly used to for tribes to work with their liaison or CEO or whatever you want to call them. To you win the contract, you find a contractor to do the services or provide the service or provide the supplies that are needed. So it's not going to create jobs here until they make enough money to actually start other businesses. It will just create a revenue stream to provide them with that opportunity eventually. So I'll make a motion to approve the request for the 2020 and 2021 treasurer's report.
Okay. Motion by Chairman Whitehorse, second by Councilman Hawkins, Councilman Little Thunder, second. So questions, Councilman Booyer?
Chair, I thought Mr. Redwell was going to read the resolution for the record.
This is for the Eagle Nest District, so. Yes.
It's a Eagle Nest resolution. Oh, you want him to read it? We're not passing this resolution specifically. It's just a request. But if you want him to read it, I'm sure he'd like the airtime.
Eh.
All right. Go ahead, Chair. Go ahead, Mario.
Yeah, I want to add that this isn't just for Eagle Nest District. It's for all the districts. Because if we get certification for Eagle Nest, all the districts are automatically certified to do the same thing, as well as the tribe itself. So if Eagle Nest just done all the work ahead of time. So last 2 years working on it. So it's just getting certification, but all that hard work's already done, all the documentation. So upon certification of just one district, it automatically qualifies the whole tribe and all the districts. And then there was a lot of information in that call that Cora had with Shane Mers. Shane's been at this for 30 years, so really lucky to have his expertise. But he mentioned that there's like a $9 billion industry, I believe, in the Alaskan tribe to take, getting all the contracts. And now the lower 48 tribes, a lot of them are starting to, open their eyes and say, hey, we're missing a boat here. So Potawatomis of Wisconsin have a company now, and they have 40 LLCs under it, and they're making $500 million a year. And Oglala's can do the same thing, our tribe. The districts can do that, but the tribe itself can also do exactly like that, the Potawatomi tribe. I think the Oklahoma tribes all have 8A. A lot of companies under them, like Chickasaws, Choctaws, and so we're kind of missing the boat up here because not a single tribe around here has got 8A, preference on contracts. And then, like, just for clarification, you get these contracts all over the U.S. So it isn't like you're going to do all the work here. You might get a contract over in Chicago, for example. But what you do is there's already people working there on these. You just bring them in, and you have a workforce already. And then you don't have to train them, and they do the work. And so these contracts are all over. They're sole source contracts. tribes don't have to bid. All you have to do is ask for them and you know, if you qualify, you get the contract. So it's a way to really raise a lot of revenue for the tribes. And I think in the future, the tribes are going to have to be economically strong and self-sufficient, you know, in years to come. So this is an opportunity. I think you look at an opportunity for the tribe itself to start an 8A program for the Wallace tribe as well as the districts. So that's how the tribe's going to survive. I think is it could be economically strong in the future.
To make one clarification that it's not automatically certifying the whole tribe. It's an application for Eagle Nest District first. And if that application is approved, then all the other districts and the tribe can be, yeah, they can fall under that application. So it's not automatic. We'd still have to submit for all the other districts and the tribe. But then all the legwork will be done if this gets approved.
Are there other questions? Okay. Seeing or hearing none, online or in person, Secretary, would you call the vote, please?
Wesley Hawkins Senior,
Hoorah!
Blaine Little Thunder,
Oh,
Carl Whitehorse,
Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle Senior, Gerald Canoyer Jr.,
Yes.
Austin Watkins Senior,
Oh.
Tyler Yellowboy,
Chair,
Wendell Youngman Jr.,
resolution?
Ron DeBrey,
Oh.
James Cross,
Yes.
Ella Giancarlo,
Yes.
George Dreamer Jr.,
Yes.
Jillian Spotted Bear,
Yes.
Richard Ironclad,
Yes.
David Poyer, Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Jackie Sears,
Uh-huh.
Michael Carlos Sr.,
Yes.
Bernardo Rodriguez Jr., Garfield Still,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
For Jim's sake, yes.
okay, council. That motion passes 19-4, two not voting. Thank you, council. And yeah, we could read it for the record.
Okay.
No, I mean, it's part of the record, so we can read it. So, resolution of the Executive Committee of the Eagle Nest District requesting the tribal treasurer to provide copies of the treasurer's reports for 2021, 2020 and 2021 to the district for all tribal council support in obtaining SBA approval of a district's application for 8A certification that will allow it to qualify for sole source federal government contract, whereas like federal and state system of government federalism under the U.S. Constitution, the Wallace tribe likewise has two levels of government under its Constitution that was adopted pursuant to Section 16 of the 1934 Reorganization Act, 25 U.S.C., subsection 513. Number one, a national constitution government called the Wallace Tribal Council, established under Article 3, Section 1 of the Tribal Constitution, and 9 local constitutional governments called district councils, established under Article 3, Section 2, and Section 6 of the Tribal Constitution, whereas under the Eagle Nest District Constitution, the Eagle Nest District Council is the governing body of the district, and the elected officials of the district include President, Vice President, Secretary, Treasurer, who make up the district's committee. Whereas under Article 6 under the Tribal Constitution, Eagle Nest and other reservation districts are expressly delegated constitutional power, among other things, one, undertake manage local enterprises and furtherance purposes set forth in the preamble of the Tribal Constitution, which the preamble states, following we as the Oglala tribe of the Pioneers Indian Reservation, in order to establish a more perfect organization, promote the general welfare and conserve and develop our lands, resource secure ourselves and our posterity, the power to exercise certain rights in the home rule, not inconsistent with federal laws and our treaties. And in the recommendation of God Almighty and his divine providence, to ordain and establish the constitutional Oglala tribe, and 2, expend monies in the district treasury for the benefit of the district, emphasis and supplied. And whereas The terms to undertake and manage local enterprises to promote the general welfare and expend monies in the district treasury for the benefit of the district, authorize Eagle Nest District and the 8 other districts to establish business enterprises that can, among other things, generate revenue to promote general welfare of Indian people residing within their respective districts and allow the districts to become less dependent on the tribal council for financial support each year. Whereas Eagle Nest District has been working for the past 2 years to develop district-owned enterprises that can access sole sourcing federal government contracts to the Small Business Administration 8A program for economic development and self-sufficiency within the district. And whereas to complete an application for SBA 8A certification, Eagle Nest District must show that the Oglala Tribe and French Indian Reservation are poor, which is required to obtain SBA certification and can be shown by providing SBA with copies of tribal audits and treasurer's reports, which we just passed, if audits are not available for 2020 and 2021. Whereas if SBA 8A certification is obtained by the Eagle Nest District, the other 8 reservation districts, as well as the Oglala Tribe itself, will automatically qualify for 8A status. Now, therefore, be resolved that Eagle Nest District therefore requests the support of the Oglala Tribe Council in obtaining approval of its SBA 8A certification and requests for copies of the Tribal Treasury Report for 2020 and 2021 for the purpose of showing the Oglala Tribe and Planet Indian Reservation are poor as required for certification by SBA. And be it further resolved, the District President James Redwillow and Tribal Council Representative Wesley Hawkins and Blaine Little Thunder are requested to personally present this resolution to the Tribal Council at its September 2020 general session. The record is read.
And
Oh, good.
I just had a quick comment on that. I asked Mario to make a comment on it. Mario?
Hold on. This resolution references the preamble to the Constitution, where it says, whereas in Article 6 of the Tribal Constitution, as for the, the districts, Eagle Nest District and other reservation districts are expressly delegated the constitutional power to, among other things, and number 1, undertake and manage local enterprises in furtherance of the purposes set forth in the preamble to the Tribal Constitution, which preamble states as follows, and then let's just quote the preamble. We, the Oglala Tribe of the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, in order to establish a more perfect organization, promote the general welfare, and conserve and develop our lands and resources, secure to ourselves and our posterity the power of certain rights of home rule, not inconsistent with federal laws and our treaties, and in recognition of the God Almighty, His divine providence, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the Oglala Tribe. There's always been a debate, where do you get the authority to create these constitutions? And a lot of them say, well, it's come from, God. It comes from God, Creator. These inalienable rights. And I think that's why they stuck this in. I want to add, Sonia, that these constitutions, they were just based on a model that the BIA circulated around in the 1930s. So almost all these constitutions are alike, and the IRA Constitution. So they all have these similar provisions in them. And the right of home rule is basically the right to have your own governments. And that's already guaranteed in our treaties. The right to have our own sovereign governments, our own courts, our own judicial system, executive system, division. So these are already rights that are already guaranteed in our treaties, right of home rule.
Thank you. I just
Okay.
wanted him to talk about that.
Thank you. Councilman Spotber.
Thank you, Chair. I appreciate you explaining the preamble because I know I perked up when I read that. And it just goes to show that our executive constitutions should be looked at and considered to be updated as well, as we do fall under the 1825, 1851, 1868 treaties. It should be updated as such as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Any other questions on this? Hearing or seeing none, or Chairman, you want to say something? Go ahead.
Okay, I appreciate the vote of confidence and, let's hope we can get something going, for everybody so we don't have to depend on federal dollars and be, guided by what the, deliverables have to be. Let's get, sovereign. Sovereign, the word sovereign is usually, it's usually out there. People like to say sovereign, but really looking into being sovereign means to be able to function on your own without Milahaska dictating what how we should spend our dollars. So down the road here, let's hope that this bears some fruits for our Tacoja. So I appreciate your vote of confidence in this Wopilatunka.
Wopila, Chairman, appreciate it. Anything else? Seeing, oh, Councilman Steele, go ahead.
No, I lowered mine.
Okay, thank you. Thank you again, Chairman. Appreciate you, Eagle Nest, for coming out, and thank you, Mario, for all your work on that. So we'll move on to our next item. Was the Land Committee?
Mr. Chairman, I'm gonna yield to the next committee, but I request that we be top of the agenda tomorrow.
Okay.
All the executives from the USDA were online all afternoon waiting for us to get out of executive, and they'll be back on tomorrow morning.
Okay, we could do that. My apologies, Councilman. So we'll make sure that stop tomorrow. So moving on, Law and Order Committee. I think Chairman Rodriguez isn't here. Chairman Watkins, are you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay. So we're at your committee. Do you want somebody? You have two items. Do you need somebody to present your items?
Yeah, is Wendell there?
Wendell, I don't think he's on the road, so he's not here. Councilman Yellowboy will do it for you.
All right, thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Councilman Yellowboy, do you want to present that first item from Law and Order?
Yeah.
Resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe authorizing the issuance of notice of exclusion for Trevor Zant ordinance, or utilizing the first alternative administrative hearing process under ordinance number 22-56 and setting a hearing to be held before the tribal council. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe organized under section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934, 25, oh, this one. Sorry. Resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe authorizing the issuance of an order of exclusion for Trevor Zants to be immediately removed from the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe organized under Section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934, 25 U.S.C. subsection 5123, by adopting a federally approved constitution and bylaws, and under Article 3 of the Tribal Constitution, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council is the governing body of the tribe. And whereas Article 4, Sections 1F, 1K, 1M, and 1W empower the Tribal Council to manage the economic affairs of the tribe, protect and preserve the property of the tribe, adopt laws governing the conduct of persons on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, and to adopt laws protecting and promoting the health and general welfare of the Oglala Sioux tribe and its membership. And whereas the tribal council is further empowered under Article 4, Sections I and W, and Article 1 of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Constitution and Ordinance Number 2256 to exclude non-members from the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. And whereas Trevor Zantz is a non-member who resides within the Wounded Knee District of the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, who has violated the law with understanding warrants, has made threats of violence against an elder tribal member and her family, causing harm to the welfare and safety of her person. And whereas the matter has been reviewed by the Law and Order Committee and referred to Tribal Council for recommendations for emergency action by issuing a order of exclusion due to threat of violence against an elder tribal member and her family. Now therefore be it resolved that the Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe determines that there is a state of emergency in this matter and that grounds exist for immediate exclusion based on violent threats upon the tribal elder and her family. And be it further resolved that Trevor Zantz has outstanding warrants of violations of the law, and the Oglala Sioux tribe will not be safe haven for eluding the law. And be it further resolved that the tribal president or the vice president shall cause this order as attached and incorporate it by references as F fully set forth to be served upon Trevor Zantz by law enforcement, and that any police officer shall effective his removal from the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. Certification.
Motion.
Okay, motion by Chairman, second by Councilman Hawkins. Any discussion on this?
Chair, I think it's Zaits, right? Zaits.
Correct. That's the way it's.
If we could correct that spelling if it's wrong.
I just misspoke it, Councilman. Sorry. Butchering last names.
Any discussion?
Chairman, I think you guys discussed this in exec. Let's just vote yes or no.
Okay, I think I believe we already had that discussion, Chairman Watkins, and I think people are ready to move forward on it. Is there further discussion? Hearing or seeing none, Secretary, will you call the vote, please?
Just a comment, Chair. This is Jackie.
Okay, go ahead, Councilwoman.
So with this one, there'll be no hearing set up for this individual? This is just a removal, right?
Yeah, the way it was read, that's correct.
Thank you.
Chair, just for clarification, under the ordinance, they get 72 hours to submit a written request for a hearing if they choose to.
Okay. Yeah, and it's attached on the back, so.
Right. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Further questions? Hearing or seeing none, Secretary, call the vote, please.
Wesley Hawkins Sr.,
Chupo, yes.
Blaine Little Thunder,
Oh,
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Gerald Canoyer Jr.,
yes.
Austin Watkins Sr.,
Out.
Tyler Yellowboy,
Yes.
Wendell Youngman Jr.,
Yes.
Ron DeBray,
Out.
James Cross, Gonzalez Giancarlo,
Yes.
George Streamer Jr.,
Yes.
Jillian Spotted Bear,
Yes.
Richard Ironclad,
Yes.
David Puya,
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Jackie Sears,
Abstain due to conflict of interest.
Michael Carlos Sr.,
Yes.
Bernardo Rodriguez Jr., Garfield Still,
Yep.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Okay, 17 yes, 1 abstain, and 2 not voting. Thank you, Councilman. Thank you, Council. Okay, Council, we'll go till 6, Council, so. Okay, is there another item on law and order? Okay, so that item number B? That's a 2/3, yeah, okay. Okay. What was that? Okay, Lisa? Okay, Lisa.
This is the OST Legal Department's ordinance that we're requesting to amend, and it's joining 2056 and 1625 to make a new ordinance. And what we did was we took 2056 and inserted it into this new ordinance, because some of 2056 we liked and the other we didn't, and which was approved by Law and Order and by the Finance Committee. And the part we didn't carry over was the part where we put the in-house counsel in tiers. Like you had a lead, you had a associate, then you had another one on there, and we didn't carry that over. So we wanted to just combine those two ordinances into this. We inserted the wills, where we would do the wills for the people. We inserted that in here.
Court Councilwoman.
Please, just a quick question. In regards to the wheels, do you set up with any of the nursing homes, whether it be our nursing home, Bennett County or whatever? Or do you schedule a day?
We could.
I think that would be great if you could.
We could. So what we put in here, that we would do basic will services. We won't be doing probate, like if you have to go to probate, or we won't be doing that. So we're just doing basic will services for our people. So our attorney, so we interview, Matt Amiat is our legal secretary assistant. And so we take information from the people that call in and request the service. And so we get the information and then we put it together, and Russ does most of our will work. And, what else did I change in here? It's pretty much all the same. And then I requested that our salaries went up. So the paralegal office manager has been budgeted at 70,000 for the last 2 years. The in-house counsel has been, everybody has been the same for the last, since 16. And so that's saying our attorneys have not been, you know, their wages have not been increased since 2016. And when I broke it down, and then the legal secretary position also was just, is a $10,000 increase. And then our receptionist filing clerk is a $5,000 increase. And so it averages out, I put 150,000 on the in-house counsel, but that's like the max that you could give them. You don't have to give it to them because they don't make that right now. You know, that's just like a max. Depending on their qualifications and experience, and that would be up to the council to make that decision as what they're going to pay them. And that's all we've changed. And I know Ella John and Dave Puyer had questions on it, and this came to the table a couple months ago, and I just had a chance to bring this back for approval. And it has gone through Law and Order, and it has gone through Finance.
Thank you, ma'am. You have answered my questions.
A motion to approve.
Okay, motion to approve, second by Councilwoman
with
Carlo,
changes.
with the changes as amended.
Oh,
So because this is an ordinance, I believe it has to be read. Is that correct? Okay.
can I read the whole thing?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead, Councilman Steele.
So the changes we're talking about, that's with the pay increase?
Yes.
Okay.
Additional questions, but it does have to be read.
Question,
Go ahead, Councilwoman Sears.
did we get a copy of this in our email or,
It should
other
have,
than,
yes, I did email it to Stacy, and they were supposed to go out to your emails.
Stacy, can you read the ordinance?
Ordinance of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe and Unincorporated Tribe. Ordinance of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe amending ordinance number 16-25 as amended by ordinance number 20-56, establishing the Oglala Sioux Tribe in-house legal department. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe organized in accordance with section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934, 25 USC subsection, I should 5123. On December 14, 1935, by adopting a federally approved constitution and bylaws, and the tribal council is the governing body of the tribe. And whereas Article 4, Sections 1B of the tribal constitution empowers the tribal council to employ legal counsel for the protection and advancement of the rights of the Oglala Sioux tribe and its members. And Article 4, Section 1W empowers the tribal council to adopt laws promoting the health and general welfare of the tribe and its members. And whereas in order to fulfill its role
and retaining legal counsel for the advancement and protection of the rights of the tribe and its members. The tribal council wants to create a legal department staffed with in-house attorneys and support staff to reduce the cost of retaining outside legal counsel while maximizing legal services available under a limited tribal budget and centralizing legal services under one department. And whereas the tribal council enacted ordinance number 1625 on August 30th, 2016, as amended by ordinance number 2056, enacted September 1st, 2020, amending and rescinding ordinance number 14-20, establishing the Oglala Tribe in-house legal department. And whereas the OST legal department is in need of updates and revision, and whereas the Law and Order Committee believes that the proposed ordinance will accomplish the objectives of the tribe as set forth above, and recommends to tribal council the adoption of the proposed ordinance. Now therefore be it ordained that the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council hereby adopts the following ordinance amending Oglala Sioux Tribe Ordinance number 16-25 as amended by 2056 with regard to the Tribal Council Legal Department, and shall read in its entirety with additions in bold, underlined text, and deletions in bold, strike-through text. Section 1, established of Oglala Sioux Tribe Legal Department. A, there is hereby established a new department to be known as the Oglala Sioux Legal Department. B, the legal department will be under the direct supervision of the tribal council and will answer only to the tribal council. Section 2, location of legal department. The Oglala Sioux Legal Department will be based out of the Pine Ridge Agency and offices provided by the Oglala Sioux Tribe. Additional offices may be established throughout the original territory boundaries of the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation as deemed necessary by the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council. Section 3, composition of the legal department. A, the legal department will be composed of the following personnel subject to budget funds available and necessity. 1, 3 in-house attorneys. 2, 1 paralegal office manager. 3, 1 legal secretary. 4, 1 receptionist file clerk. 5 interns as needed. B, the office manager will be the direct supervision of all merit employees in the department. C, the attorneys shall be political appointees eligible for all benefits and merit awards made available by the tribal council to regular employees of the tribe. And will serve for a 2-year term that coincides with the term of the then seated council. D, they will be appointed by the tribal council by way of resolution, and this ordinance shall serve as the scope of work and level of compensation. E, all personnel of the legal department other than the attorneys will be merit employees and subject to hire and discipline under the tribal personnel policies and procedures. Ordinance number 1622 as amended. F, all interns working in the legal department will be approved by the attorneys following submission of a resume, writing sample, and references. If the department budget allows, the interns will be paid for their time at a rate approved by council. G, all equipment, office equipment, and supplies, including internet connections, legal research tools, phones, website costs, drug test costs, travel expenses, and other expenses necessary for the operation of the legal department will be provided with budgeted funds available. H, additional personnel may be necessary, such as paralegals. Such personnel may be added to the legal department as authorized by the tribal council upon recommendation of the majority of the in-house attorneys. Section 4, reference in hiring for the Oglala Sioux Tribe Legal Department. A, preference in hiring attorneys for the legal department will be as follows once basic qualifications for the positions have been met. B, enrolled tribal members, descendants of tribal members who have pending application for enrollment. E, enrolled members of other federally recognized tribes. F, enrolled members of non-federally recognized tribes. And G, non-Indians. Section 5, qualifications of attorney. A, all attorneys will be drug and alcohol free and comply with the terms of the tribe's drug-free workplace act. B, all attorneys hired by the legal department will have a Juris Doctorate degree from an accredited law school and will be in good standing in at least one state in which they are licensed. A certificate of good standing shall be provided to the tribal council prior to any interview. C, additionally, the in-house attorney must comply with the following conditions. 1, obtain a license to practice in the Oglala Sioux Tribal Court before accepting the position. 2, remain state and tribally licensed and in good standing during the term of the appointment. If the attorney is subject to discipline by his or her prospective state and/or tribal bar association, and the result is suspension or disbarment from the practice of law, that attorney cannot serve the tribe during the period of suspension and will not be paid during the period of suspension. If disbarred, the attorney will be deemed terminated by operation of law. D, the attorneys will have a minimum of 5 years of legal experience specializing in Indian law and must have demonstrable litigation experience. Section 6, general requirements and duties of the attorneys. A, the attorneys will work full-time for the legal department unless they are appointed by a temporary or part-time basis. They may work remotely, however, they are required to attend meetings as assigned and be in the office for at least 2 other full working days each week. B, the attorneys cannot take on outside work unless that work was started before their appointment, and they owe an ethical duty to close the cases at issue. C, the legal department will not handle tax matters, retirement plans, patient or trademark matters, insurance claims, or other specialized areas of law that require the assistance of an outside expert unless the attorney possesses the requisite experience. D, the attorneys will not represent or provide legal advice to the Tribal Gaming Commission or the Election Commission. E, the attorneys will not represent or provide any legal services to any tribal officer or council member for action taken outside the scope of his or her official duties. F, the attorneys will not represent or provide legal services to any tribal chartered corporation or business. G, the attorneys will not represent or provide any legal advice to any individual tribal member without authorization of the tribal council. H, the attorneys must notify both the office manager and the tribal council when a proposed assignment presents a time conflict or other conflict with the attorney's pre-existing workload. I, each attorney will serve 2 standing council committees. If an attorney cannot attend a committee meeting, that attorney must so notify the committee chair, secretary, and office manager and arrange to obtain any assignments from the secretary along with any supporting document. And set minutes. 7, will services to the members of the Oglala Sioux Tribe Oyate. A, the legal department shall provide general will services to the Oglala Sioux Tribe Oyate. B, the legal department will host a will clinic in each district once a year. Section 8, assignment of work to legal department. A, only the following entities may assign cases and other work assignments to the legal department. 1, OST president. 2, OST tribal council. 3, OST standing committees. 4, executive committee. B, all cases or work assignments will be referred directly to the office manager and the appropriate attorney. Section 8 or 9, Section 9. Annual funding for the Oglala Sioux Tribe Legal Department. A, the Tribal Council finds that in order to promote a stable legal department staffed with qualified individuals, and because of the remoteness of the tribal offices and shortage of housing on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, the personnel will be paid as follows. In-house counsel, up to $150,000 per year per attorney, negotiable based upon experience. Office manager, $70,000 per year plus fringe benefits. Is that / paralegal? Legal secretary, $45,000 per year plus fringe benefits. Bio clerk / receptionist, $30,000 per year plus fringe benefits. The office manager will submit an operations budget for the legal department to the finance committee annually. Section 10, agreements with outside law firms and attorneys. A, it is recognized that the tribe will need to retain the specialized services of outside counsel to handle cases and other legal matters for the tribe. B, the in-house attorneys will be the preferred option for staffing for tribal council and standing committee meetings and drafting resolution ordinances. C, the tribal council may confer with the in-house attorneys regarding workload capabilities and area of legal expertise requiring outside counsel before making an assignment to attorneys outside of the legal department, but not required to do so. Section 11, repeal or prior inconsistent ordinances and resolutions. This ordinance rescinds and supersedes ordinance number 16-25 as amended, and ordinance 20-56 in its entirety. Now therefore be it ordained that this ordinance will become effective on the date it is approved by tribal council, and be it further ordained that the president, or in his absence, the vice president, is hereby authorized to sign any necessary documentation on behalf of the tribe in order to carry out the terms of this ordinance. Certification.
So I believe on his motion, the motion was already made, seconded by Councilwoman Carlo. And Councilman Hopkins. Councilman Steele, do you have your hand up?
Yeah, I have a question for Lisa. So currently, are the attorneys getting merit awards like regular employees?
Yes, they do, since we adopted ordinance 2056. So we're just combining these, the 1625 and the 2056 into one ordinance. Mr. Steele.
Okay, thank you.
Additional questions? Hearing or seeing none, Secretary call vote, please. Thank you.
Wesley Hawkins Sr.,
Who?
Blaine Little Thunder,
Oh.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Gerald Canoyer Jr.,
Yes.
Austin Watkins Sr.,
Out.
Tyler Yellowboy, Wendell Youngman Jr.,
Yes.
Ron DeBrey,
Out.
James Cross,
Yes.
Ella Giancarlo,
Yes.
George Dreamer Jr., Jillian Spotted Bear,
Yes.
Yes.
Ironclad,
Yes.
George, did you say yes?
Yes. Sorry, Stacy. Yes.
Thank you. David Poyer, Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Jackie Sears,
Not voting.
Michael Carlos Sr., Bernardo Rodriguez Jr., Garfield Still,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
No.
Council, that's a 17 for one no and two not voting. Thank you, Council. So I think we're done with law and order for now. Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate it. Thank you for all your work.
Thank you, everybody.
Moving on to HHS, Vice Chair Yellowboy, Vice Chair Spotted Bear. I'm not sure what's or yeah, it's tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not sure which one wants to read. Okay.
Resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe approving the independent contract with Larry Olson, audiologist, for services for the OST ear, nose, and throat clinic. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe OST adopted its constitution and bylaws by referendum vote on December 14th, 1935, in accordance with Section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934, 25 USC subsection 5123. And under Article 3 of the Constitution, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council is the governing body of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. And whereas pursuant to the OST Constitution and bylaws, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council exercises legislative powers to enact and promulgate resolutions and ordinances. And whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe is in need of an audiologist to provide services for the OST Ear, Nose, and Throat Clinic located in the Indian Health Service, Pine Ridge Comprehensive Hospital. And whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe's Health and Human Services Committee has reviewed the service contract and recommends that the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council approves the contract. And now therefore be it resolved, based on the recommendations of the Oglala Sioux Tribe Health and Human Services Committee, the Tribal Council does hereby approve the independent contract with Larry Olson, audiologist, which is attached hereto and incorporated by reference as fully set forth herein, not to exceed compensation in the amount of $48,000 for the fiscal year of 2023. Motion.
Motion made, seconded by Councilwoman Carlo, Councilwoman Block Weston, and Vice Chair Spotted. Any discussion? Oh, go ahead, Councilwoman.
You know, I do want to comment, and I'm hoping our tribal membership is listening to the council meeting this evening, but I did get calls or text messages a while back on not having, a contract in place for audiologist, and so I'm really glad that we're getting to it. We're going to approve it this evening so that we can get that in place up there at our ENT clinic up at IHS. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Additional questions, comments, concerns, seeing or hearing none. Secretary, call the roll, please.
Wesley Hawkins Sr.,
Oh.
Blaine Little Thunder,
Oh.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Gerald Canoyer Jr.,
Yes.
Austin Watkins Sr.,
Out.
Tyler Yellowboy,
Yes.
Wendell Youngman Jr., Ron DeBrey,
Out.
James Cross,
Yes.
Ella Giancarlo,
Yes.
George Dreamer Jr., Jillian Spotted Bear,
Yes.
Richard Ironcloud,
Yes.
David Poyer,
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston,
Ha.
Jackie Sears,
Uh-huh.
Michael Carlo Sr., Bernardo Rodriguez Jr., Garfield Still,
Not voting.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Council, that passes 18-4 to not voting. Thank you, Council. Chair, Vice Chair, your next item.
Resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe approving the professional services agreement between the Oglala Sioux Tribe and Dr. Troy Howard, 13395 Old Archer Road, Rapid City, South Dakota, 57702. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe OST adopted its constitution and bylaws by referendum vote on December 14th, 1935, in accordance with Section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934, 25 USC subsection 5123, and under Article 3 of the Constitution, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council is the governing body of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. And whereas pursuant to the OST Constitution and bylaws, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council exercises legislative powers to enact and promulgate resolutions and ordinances. And whereas Dr. Troy Howard is duly licensed to provide certified professional medical services pursuant to this agreement. And whereas the tribe desires to hire Dr. Troy Howard to provide audiological services to eligible patients through this agreement. And whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe Health and Human Services Committee is a standing committee of the Oglala Sioux Tribe who did meet on September 20th, 2022 with the quorum present and did approve this resolution and attached contract for presentation to the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council for their action. And whereas this certified professional services contract for Dr. Troy Howard is attached hereto and forwarded to the OST Tribal Council for final approval. Now therefore be resolved that the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe, based upon the recommendations of the OST Health and Human Services Committee, hereby approves the professional services agreement attached fee schedule between the Oglala Sioux Tribe and Dr. Troy Howard of 31395 Old Orchard Road, Rapid City, South Dakota 57702. Be it further resolved that the effective dates of the professional services agreement are October 1, 2022 to September 30th, 2023, and that the grant funds of it are available through the Pine Ridge Master Health Contract for this agreement. Motion.
Second.
Motion made, second by Councilwoman Carlo. Any discussion? Hearing or seeing none, Secretary, will you call the vote, please? Thank you.
Wesley Hawkins Senior. Lane Little.
Oh.
Cora Whitehorse. Gerald Canoyer Jr.
Yes.
Austin Watkins Senior.
Out.
Tyler Yellowboy.
Yes.
Wendell Youngman Jr.
Yes.
Ron DeBrey.
Out.
James Cross.
Yes.
Ella Giancarlo.
Yes.
George Dreamer Jr.
Yes.
Jillian Spotted Bear. Yes. Richard Ironclad.
Yes.
David Poyer. Sonia Little Hawk Weston. Jackie Sears.
Uh-huh.
Michael Carlos Sr. Bernardo Rodriguez Jr. Garfield Still.
Yes.
Craig Dillon.
Yes.
18.
Council passes 18-4 and 2 not voting. Vice Chair? No.
I will defer to the co-vice chair of Health and Human Services for the next one.
Thank you. Resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. Resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe stating that Oglala Lakota Housing Authority, OLHA, is approved to submit an Indian Community Development Block Grant, CFDA 14.862, FR 6300N23 Grant, ICDBG 22. It's the one directly after the two contracts. Then that one's not in my packet. Tyler, go ahead and read it.
Resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe approving the Tribal Health LLC, aka Tribal EMP LLC, all-inclusive service agreement for temporary healthcare professional coverage for the Native Women's Health Care for the period of October 1, 2022 to September 30th, 2023. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe organized under Section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934, 25 U.S.C. subsection 5123, by adopting a federally approved constitution and bylaws, and under Article 3 of the Tribal Constitution, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council is the governing body of the. This is Article 4, Sections 1F, 1K, 1M, and 1W empower the Tribal Council to manage the economic affairs and enterprises of the tribe, protect and preserve the property of the tribe, adopt laws governing the conduct of persons on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, and adopt laws protecting and promoting the health and general welfare of the Oglala Sioux Tribe and its membership. And whereas the OST Native Women's Health Clinic is a PL 93-638 tribal program providing OB and gynecological health care services to the Native American population in Rapid City, South Dakota. And whereas the Native Women's Health Clinic is in need of staff coverage to assist in providing health care services. And whereas Tribal Health LLC, aka Tribal EM PLLC, provides temporary healthcare staffing services to healthcare facilities. And whereas the Tribal Health LLC has been providing services for the Native Women's Health Care Clinic in Rapid City, and the Native Women's Healthcare desires to continue working with Tribal Health LLC to provide staffing coverage. And whereas the Health and Human Services Committee has reviewed the agreement and determines that the Tribal Health LLC has the experience and express to provide the needed service. And whereas the Health and Human Services Committee met with a quorum present and by motion and vote recommends that the Tribal Council approve the Tribal Health LLC agreement for staffing services for Native Women's Healthcare Clinic. Now therefore be it resolved that the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council does hereby approve the Tribal Health LLC, aka Tribal EMP LLC agreement for temporary staffing for the OST Native Women's Healthcare Clinic, as attached is incorporated by reference as fully set forth herein, with the funds paid from the NWHC third-party fund not to exceed $480,000. And be it further resolved that the Tribal Council hereby delegates the authority to the Tribal President or in his absence the Vice President to sign this resolution and to execute any documents necessary effective to this agreement. Motion.
Motion made, second by Councilman Carlo. Any discussion? Hearing or seeing none, Secretary, will you call the vote, please?
Wesley Hawkins Senior,
Oh,
Blaine Little Thunder,
Oh.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Gerald Canoyer Jr.,
Yes.
Austin Watkins Senior,
Out.
Tyler Yellowboy,
Yes.
Wendell Youngman Jr.,
Yes.
Ron DeBrey,
So.
James Cross,
Yes.
Ella Giancarlo,
Yes.
George Dreamer Jr.,
Yes.
Julian Spotted Bear,
Yes.
Richard Ironclad,
Yes.
David Poyer, Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Jackie Sears,
Uh-huh.
Michael Carlos Senior, Bernardo Rodriguez Jr., Garfield Still,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Council, that motion passes 19-4. We're not voting. Thank you, Council.
For reals, this time we'll defer to the co-vice
Okay.
chair.
Okay. Chair or Vice Chair?
Just to be clear, we're on OLHA. Resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribe, Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. Resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe stating that Oglala Lakota Housing Authority, OLHA, is approved to submit an Indian Community Development Block Grant, CFDA 14.862 FR 6300N 23 grant, ICDBG 22. Due 10/20 has followed the requirements of citizen participation and 24 CFR 1003.604A. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe, OST, adopted its constitution and bylaws by referendum vote on December 14, 1935, in accordance with the Section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934, 25 USC subsection 5123. And under Article 3 of the Constitution, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council is the governing body of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. And whereas pursuant to the OST Constitution and bylaws of the Oglala Sioux Tribe, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council exercises legislative powers to enact and promulgate resolutions and ordinances. And whereas the Oglala Sioux tribe wishes to provide safe and healthy houses to the people of the reservation. And whereas the Oglala Lakota Housing Authority, formerly Oglala Sioux Lakota Housing, is the tribally designated housing entity established by the Oglala Sioux tribe. And whereas there is up to $2 million available per grant from the HUD Indian Community Development Block Grant Program 2022 with a leverage of $666,667 from OLHA. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council hereby approves the submission of the Indian Community Development Block Grant, CFDA 14.682. FR-6300-N-23, 2022 grant that is due 10/24/22 to rehab low rent units, especially to improve the exteriors as needed, including roofs, siding, doors, and windows, and other damage prevention and energy efficiency measures for an estimated 125 units. Be it further resolved that the Tribal Council will not approve any other entity to submit a HUD Indian Community Development Block Grant 2022 FR-6300-N-23. And be it therefore resolved that we affirm that OLHA has followed the requirements of citizen participation in 24 CFR 1003.604A and the views and comments from the tribal community members about the possible use of EBG funds were gathered and considered prior to the submission of the application. Motion.
Second.
Motion made second by Councilman Carlo. Any discussion? Hearing or seeing none, Secretary, will you call the vote, please? Thank you.
Wesley Hawkins Senior. Blaine Little Thunder.
Oh.
Cora Whitehorse.
Yes.
Gerald Canoyer Jr.
Yes.
Austin Watkins Senior.
Out.
Tyler Yellowboy. Wendell Youngman Jr.
Yes.
Ron DeBray.
Out.
James Cross.
Yes.
Ella Giancarlo.
Yes.
George Dreamer Jr.
Yes.
Julian Spotted Bear.
Yes.
Richard Ironclad.
Yes.
David Poyer. Sonia Little Hawk Weston. Jackie Sears.
Uh-huh.
Michael Carlos Sr. Bernardo Rodriguez Jr. Garfield Still. Craig Dillon.
Yes.
Okay, council that passes 18 yes, 2 not voting. Thank you, council. Chair Wester, next item.
Ordinance of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council amending the Oglala Sioux Tribe Public Health Authority Ordinance number 20-35 to broaden the legal authority of the OST Public Health Authority to receive reports for the purpose of preventing or controlling disease, injury, or disability. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe adopted its constitution and bylaws by referendum vote on December 14th, 1935, in accordance with Section 16 of the 1934 Indian Reorganization Act, 25 U.S.C. subsection 5123, under Article 3 of the Constitution, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council is the governing body of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. And whereas pursuant to the Constitution and bylaws, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council exercises legislative powers to enact and promulgate resolutions and ordinances. And whereas Article 4, Sections 1F, 1K, 1M, and 1W empower the Tribal Council to manage the economic affairs of the tribe, protect and preserve the property of the tribe, adopt laws governing the conduct of persons on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, and adopt laws protecting and promoting the health and general welfare of the Oglala Sioux tribe and its membership. And whereas the Oglala Sioux tribe is a constitution tribe of the Great Sioux Nation and a signatory of the 1825 treaty with the Sino and the Oglala Sioux tribes 7 Sat 252 July 5th, 1825, and the Treaty of Fort Laramie of 1851 1 Sat 749 September 7th, 1851, and Treaty of Fort Laramie of 1868 15 Sat 635 April 29th, 1868. Those treaties were made between the nations. The 1868 treaty, Article 2, recognizes that our reservation was set apart from absolute and undisturbed use and occupation of the Indian people. And whereas the Pine Ridge Reservation is a permanent home of the Oglala Sioux tribe pursuant to the Fort Laramie Treaty of 1868 and the Act of March 2nd, 1889. And whereas the Oglala Sioux tribe has entered into the comprehensive master health contract with the Indian Health Service to provide healthcare services that include community health service, health promotion / disease prevention services, health education, alcohol / substance abuse services, and health administration on the Pine Ridge Reservation and their surrounding communities. And whereas the mission of the Oglala Sioux tribe in its master health contract is to promote wellness, prevent disease, and to treat disease within the Oglala Sioux tribe community, the Oglala Sioux tribe is committed to working in partnership with the community to support health and wellness, to provide care for individuals and families in the physical, mental, and emotional and spiritual healing process. The Oglala Sioux tribe will promote a healthy environment and provide the highest quality of care by maximizing all available resources, honoring Oglala Sioux tribe tradition, respecting the dignity of each person, and observing the highest possible moral and ethic standards. And whereas the mission of the OST Health Administration is to partner with the community to promote a healthy environment and to strive to provide the highest quality of care utilizing Lakota values, culture, and traditions. And whereas the Oglala Sioux tribe must prepare and respond to the threat of epidemics and pandemics to protect its residents from the spread of infectious diseases. And whereas the Oglala Sioux tribe adopted resolution number 20-108, approving and promoting the OST Health Administrator as a authorized tribal health official for the purpose of obtaining and receiving and sharing information and reporting of infectious disease and other health officials and health departments and agencies on behalf of the Oglala Sioux tribe for public health purpose. And whereas resolution number 20-108 authorizes the OST president to sign any agreements for the exchange of information regarding case reporting and tracing between agencies and health officials, health departments. And whereas the Tribal Council on May 28, 2020 enacted ordinance number 20-35 and formally established the OST Health Administration and its employees as the public health authority for the Oglala Sioux tribe and empowered it to carry out a broad range of public health activities, including to collect and share information as necessary to fulfill its main mandate to the public health. And whereas Tribal Council clarifies with this ordinance that the OST Public Health Authority is designated to have the legal authority to receive reports for the purpose of preventing and controlling disease, injury, or disability on behalf of the Oglala Sioux tribe. Now therefore be it ordained that the Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux tribe here amends with additions in bold and deletions in strike through ordinance number 20-35 that formally designated the OST Department of Health Administration as the public health authority of the Oglala Sioux tribe, or their designee as designated in writing by the OST Health Administration Director / Public Health Authority Director, for the purpose set forth in the regulations implementing the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA, 45 CFR subsection 164.501 and 164.512B 1I for other lawful purposes in which the legal authority to receive reports for the purpose of preventing and controlling disease, injury, or disability. And be it further ordained that the Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe hereby adopts the Oglala Sioux Tribe Public Health Authority ordinance set forth below. Oglala Sioux Tribe Public Health Authority Ordinance, Section 1, Authority. The Oglala Sioux Tribe adopts the Public Health Authority Ordinance pursuant to A, the tribe's inherent authority as a sovereign Indian nation, which authority was recognized and affirmed in the 1825 treaty with the Sion and the Oglala tribes 7, Section .52, July 5th, 1825, the Treaty of Fort Laramie of 1851, Section 749, September 17th, 1851, and the Treaty of Fort Laramie of 1868, 15, Section 635, April 29th, 1868. And B, the tribe's inherent authority over all lands within the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation as recognized and affirmed by the United States when it approved the Oglala Sioux Tribe Constitution, which provides in Article 1 that the jurisdiction of the Oglala Sioux Tribe of Indians shall extend to the territory within the original confines of the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation boundaries. C, the tribe's authority under the Indian Self-Determination and Education Assistance Act, ISDEAA, Public Law 93-638, contract and annual funding agreements with the Indian Health Service. Section 2, legislative findings. The tribe finds A, the tribe has the inherent sovereign authority to create and operate public health authority to collect, receive, and disclose information for the purpose of preventing or controlling disease, injury, or disability, including the reporting of disease or injury, reporting vital events such as births or deaths, and controlling public health surveillance, investigations, and interventions. And B, the United States recognizes the authority of the tribe to operate a public health authority, defining the public health authority to mean an agency or authority of the United States government, a state or a territory, a political subdivision of a state or territory or Indian tribe that is responsible for the public health matters as a part of its official mandate, as well as a person or entity acting under a grant of authority form or under a contract with a public health agency, 45 CFR subsection 164.51. Section 3, purpose. The purpose of this ordinance are A, to establish the OST Health Administration and its employees as a public health authority of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. B, to empower the Public Health Authority or their designee or designated in writing by the OST Health Administration Director / Public Health Authority Director with a legal authorization to the following. 1, conduct all of the information collected and sharing the activities authorized for public health authorities in HIPAA. 2, collect, receive, and disclose such information for the purpose of preventing or controlling disease, injury, or disability, including the reporting of disease or injury, reporting vital events such as birth or deaths, and conducting public health surveillance, investigations, or interventions. 3, disclose protected health information. Protected health information when necessary to other public health authorities, including to foreign government agencies acting in collaboration with the OST Public Health Authority, and to persons at risk of contracting or spreading a disease or condition in other law, such as state law authorizes to covered entity to notify such persons as necessary to prevent or control the spread of disease, otherwise carried out public health interventions or investigations. 4, conduct, when necessary, contact tracing and testing to prevent the spread of communicable diseases. 5, information persons whom may have been exposed to communicable disease or may otherwise be at risk of contracting or spreading a disease or condition. 6, to carry out any other activity consistent with its official mandate to serve the public health. Section 4, effective date. This amended ordinance shall take effect upon approval. Section 5, effective on prior laws. On the date of this ordinance takes effect, it supersedes, repeals, and replaces all prior inconsistent laws of the tribe. Motion.
Motion made. As there's second. Second by Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston. Any discussion?
Just one question.
Councilwoman Sears.
So, who would be the actual entity that all this data or information will be going to? Because it looks like there's a lot of HIPAA concerns. So are those being dealt with?
So
Is there a system set up for that?
the health administrator is the one who will be receiving all of that data, and she's been collecting it. This is just giving her a little more, broadening her authority to collect some other data that she was asking for from IHS.
Is that data gonna include names and stuff, or it's just numbers?
That I'm not sure. That was a discussion with the health administrator and the IHS CEO.
You know, because I'm getting some concerns about that because people don't want their information sent unless it's probably, you know, just utilizing numbers is fine, but if there's names involved, I think we need to know that.
Well, she's the one who receives the data that when somebody tests positive for COVID, their name goes to the health administrator so they can get their information and get where they're located so they can provide those services that when you test positive for COVID. So the system, the system's already there.
Are we also, this is including like other kind of diseases?
I believe so.
Thank you.
Additional questions? Hearing or seeing no other questions or concerns or comments. Secretary, will you call the vote, please?
Wesley Hawkins Senior, Blaine Little Thunder,
Oh.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Gerald Canoyer Jr.,
Yes.
Austin Watkins Senior,
How?
Tyler Yellowboy,
Yes.
Wendell Youngman Jr.,
Yes.
Ron DeBrey,
Oh.
James Croft,
Yes.
Ella Giancarlo,
Yes.
George Dreamer Jr.,
Yes.
Julian Spotted Bear,
Yes.
Richard Ironcloud,
Yes.
David Poyer, Sonia Little Hawk Weston,
Ha.
Jackie Sears,
Not voting.
Michael Carlos Sr., Garfield Still,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Council, the motion passes 18-4 and one not voting. Vice Chair.
That's it.
Council.
Thank you.
Oh, that's it. Okay. Or is there? Oh, yeah. Is there?
There's one more on your, that C, yeah. I had, Gracie pass it out because it wasn't in your packet. But it's supposed to be.
Okay, well, I didn't have that one. I apologize. I'm not on the ball. Not like Ryan, I don't run a tight ship. You want to read it?
There's two captains right now. So.
This one is regarding the resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. Resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe approving the OST Energy Office Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, LEAP, for FY 2022-2023 funding. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe, OST, adopted its constitution and bylaws by referendum vote on December 14th, 1935. In accordance with Section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934, 25 USC subsection 5123, and under Article 3 of the Constitution, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council is the governing body of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. And whereas, pursuant to the OST Constitution and bylaws of the Oglala Sioux Tribe, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council exercises legislative powers to enact and promulgate resolutions and ordinances. And whereas, on September 20th, 2022, the Health and Human Services Committee met, reviewed, and approved this resolution to be forwarded to the Tribal Council immediately to meet the deadline. And whereas, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council has reviewed and considered the recommendation to approve the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, LEAP, for FY 2022-2023 funding for the services to members of the Oglala Lakota Oyate. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe does hereby approve the LEAP for the FY 2022-2023 funding, and be it further resolved that the tribal president, or in his absence, the vice president, is hereby authorized to sign any documents necessary to effectuate recontracting for the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, LEAP, contract for FY 2022-2023. Motion.
Second.
Motion made, seconded by Councilwoman Carlo. Go ahead, Councilwoman Whitehorse.
And I don't know who can answer it, but LEAP is a 638. So why do we do this every year? How come we can't do it for 3 years at a time like we do for other programs? That's a good idea. I'm not gonna research it though.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, no, we should have to. Maybe that's one of the things you can ask Jennifer, like for 3-year funding or something. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions, comments? Yeah, we could. Seeing none, Secretary call. And this will be the last one, then we'll take a break. So, go ahead. Recess. No, so we'll recess after this until tomorrow.
Wesley Hawkins Sr.,
Oh.
Blaine Little Thunder,
Oh.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Gerald Canoyer Jr.,
Yes.
Austin Watkins Sr.,
Oh.
Tyler Yellowboy, Wendell Youngman Jr., Rhonda Bray,
Oh.
James Cross,
Yes.
Ella Giancarlo,
Yes.
George Dreamer Jr.,
Yes.
Julian Spotted Bear,
Yes.
Richard Ironclad,
Yes.
David Puyer, Sonia Littlehawk Weston, Jackie Sears,
Uh-huh.
Michael Carlos Sr., Garfield Still,
Yes.
Greg Dillon,
Yes.
Stacy, I'm a yes.
Wendell.
Yes, my vote yes.
Okay, thank you.
Council, that passes unanimous, 19-4, unanimous. Thank you. So council will recess until tomorrow at 10, and we'll try to get back here at 10. I know that we have a couple items tomorrow, in person, so just try to be present for that. So again, thank you everyone. Appreciate all your effort, time today. Thank you to the Secretary's office. Thank you to Jesse and Jedi. Thank you to Prairie One Casino. So we'll just be adjourned. We won't be adjourned. We'll be in recess until tomorrow at 10. So thank you everyone. And recess at 6:14.